Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Fallout 76 video on the channel. Today we're going to be starting off with the first video of February, as it is the 2nd of February. Hopefully I will get it done for today, if not it's coming up on the 3rd. Anyways, basically what we've had is some new updates for the lovely Fallout 76 PTS, and some of them are actually really good changes, which I'm genuinely really happy about. Now we'll be going over all of the patch notes that's coming in, just in case there's anything that might stand out to you that doesn't stand out to me. So make sure, if you do enjoy and find this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button. The more likes the video gets, the more it helps me out, the more it makes YouTube push the video. So please hit that like button. It takes 2 seconds of your time and it really helps out. Now with that being said, now that you've hit that like button, hopefully, we are now going into the patch notes, where it starts off with some changes around ghouls. And for the ghouls, it's got fixed an appearance issue with the Blood Eagle blouse when worn by a ghoul character. I didn't know this issue, but hey, it's fixed. The Ferrometer is now going to be displayed properly when viewed in the Pip-Boy, which is a nice little change there, as before when I actually tried viewing it, it just didn't really kind of work, which is a bit strange. They've also fixed an issue where the Scout's banners did not work in first person while holding a melee or unarmed. Equipping and removing a ghoul disguise while in power armor will no longer turn your character into unspeakable horror. Now I'm really actually interested about what this is. If I can find out what it is and find an image, I'll post it on screen, but I'm just very intrigued by whatever the hell this unspeakable horror looked like. They've also fixed an issue where emotes would continue looping for other players, as well as fixed an issue where ghouls could equip human perks through the punch card machine, which is a cheeky little glitch which I also didn't actually hear of until now. Now the new changes on top of this, the ones that I'm actually quite excited about, is all relating to perks, and something which I've actually just opened up the perks and didn't realise before is there's a cool like animated like a burned card going on these. I don't know if that means I'm more glowing or something and that's why it is kind of affected in that way, but either way it kind of looks pretty cool, and I kind of like this burn look on them. Anyways, moving on to the lovely perks. The first perk in question is going to be Gunslinger. Now Gunslinger, when I actually finally get to it, this has actually had some of its weak spot bonus damage changed, and it's actually been lowered, so it's been a little bit of a nerf on this one. It's gone from 10%, 15% and 20%, and now it's dropped down to 6%, 9% and 12%, as you can see on screen, which is not really ideal, but you know, maybe it was a little bit too overpowered prior to this. Who knows, but hey ho, it has now changed. Now the other change that's coming relating with Gunslinger is Gunslinger Expert and Gunslinger Master, where basically on the Gunslinger Master it's removed the weak spot bonus, which is now only found on the Expert version. So as you can see here, plus 1% range weak spot damage per onslaught stacks with a max of 3 stacks, and the actual Master version has had that removed. Now if you actually look at the Gunslinger Master, it now just says gain onslaught stacks over time and spend them on attacks with a maximum of 10 stacks. So a bit of a weird change there, and it kind of feels like the 3 cards, which are all meant to be kind of running in line with each other, all give different effects now, which is a bit odd. Gorilla Expert has also seen a change, with its reduced reload speed from 5% has dropped down to 1% per stack. Again, this maybe was a little bit too overpowered, so maybe they have decided to drop it. The 5% change was pretty crazy. I seen a video of, I think it was Angry Turtle, doing like how crazy these perks now are after the update in the PTS, and it was insane. You could literally reload your gun so quick, so maybe that is why it has dropped and been changed. Gorilla Master also seen a change, with its increased range damage to close from 3% to 5% to stack, and increased stacks from 3 to 5. So it's had a bit of a buff in terms of how many max stacks it can have, and it's also had a buff in terms of the percentage of range damage as well, because that's gone from 3 to 5%, so a bit of a buff on this one. Now 3 perks that have had its changes now, we've got Portable Power, which has had its change from 25% and 50%, now going to 50% and 75% on each of the ranks, that you can see. Pack Rat is the same, with a buff coming on that one as well, moving up to 50% and 75% for ranks 1 and 2. And Arms Keeper has also had the same buff, going to 50% and 75% as well. Now the one that I've basically probably titled this video after saying that there's been some beautiful changes or amazing changes is all based around Inspirational, which I actually now think is a fantastic and brilliant change. So basically prior to this update, Inspirational was getting changed, so it would only affect if like you had people nearby you. So if you're doing events, if you're doing raids, anything like that, you would get the XP bonus. But if you just wander around by yourself and in a team, you wouldn't get that bonus from inspirational. They must have like listened to our feedback and stuff like that from it, and it has now been completely changed, and it now says gain more XP while on a team based on your charisma. It's also dropped down to rank 1, as you can see, so it's only a 1-star perk now. So this could really push the fact that you might want to now push a charisma build rather than intelligence. I mean, if you can do both, that would be insane probably for an XP build type of thing. But overall, that's a really cool change, and I'm really happy about that. Now, Spiritual Healer has also had some changes, removing its ranks down from 3 down to 1, and it's also removed the nearby player effect. Clearly this is becoming a kind of running theme where maybe they don't think that we like that as much, which I do get it. I do think it's a good idea, especially if it's kind of like a raid build that you're playing on or something like that. But I suppose a lot of people just didn't like that idea, and now they've decided to change it. So that's now been gone, it's dropped down to rank 1, and you now must be in a team to gain the effect, and it's also now based all on your charisma. The effect now shows up in your Pip-Boy effects correctly as well, and yeah, not a bad change on that one, allowing you to regenerate your HP while on a team, and it's based on your charisma as mentioned. Cap Collector has now got the change, reduced chance of extra caps from 100% to a chance based on your luck that ranges from 20% up to 85%. So if you think if you've only got like a little bit of points in luck, then you're going to be getting the 20%, and depending on how high it goes up for your luck, if you've got 15 luck for example, you should be technically getting 85%. And yeah, I guess there's no perk like bonus after that potentially, unless it is based on all of your other kind of, if you were an unyielding for example, you will have higher than 15. So who knows, maybe it'll go up to 85% if you're past the 15 marker, but I hope it doesn't. I hope it's based on like if you've got 15 points in luck, then you will get the 85%, but I'm not entirely sure. We'd have to test that one out. Undo has also been changed, as well as Farmer and Scrounger, where basically all of them now say added an additional chance to occur based on your luck that ranges from 20% to 85%, and now can apply to NPC loot, increase the amount of loot found per luck. Now that is actually a pretty cool one if you think about it, the fact that it's now going to be changing, and you can do this with NPC loot. Now that means you can basically like kill an enemy and search the enemy, and if you've got these on, you're going to be getting more canned goods. You've got Farmer, I believe that's more chems, and Scrounger I believe is just more junk. I might be wrong on that one, I can't remember, I've just never used the perk personally. But yeah, basically that is what it's going to be, and it's a really solid change to be fair. Now talking about Scrounger, it has also had those couple of more changes, so it now no longer increases the quantity of the explosives found. So Scrounger is actually based on ammunition, it's not junk. I was wrong on that one, but yeah, this will be doing what I've just said, where it goes from a chance based on your luck from 20% to 85%. It now applies to NPC loot, and also increases the amount of loot found per luck that you have. So yeah, not too bad of a change there as well. And Modern Renegade has had its reduced the limb damage bonus at rank 1 from 50% to 25%. So basically now, as you can see on the screen, the limb damage goes at 25% at rank 1, 50% at rank 2, and 75% at rank 3. Ironclad has had a change in terms of it will no longer increase the stats on your backpacks or your under armor. It's just going to be based solely on your standard armor. And finally, the last one on the entire list of the perks is going to be Barbarian, where it says the hazmat suit will no longer grant the unarmed bonus, and it fixed some cases where damage resistance would not update after unequipping armor. Now the only remaining changes that are on the patch notes this time around is going to be for armor, where the hazmat suit and the Chinese stealth suit will now count as wearing a full matching set of armor, and a hazmat suit is now being changed and moved in the armor category into the Pip-Boy. For ammo, fusion cores now count as in use when in power armor and storing unused ammo in the ammo box, therefore they will not be stored away. This of course only applies if you're actually like using power armor. So if you think before, this actually happened with me in the PTS, if you have a bunch of fusion cores and you're using power armor, you're going to want to keep a bunch of them on you. So basically you can keep recharging your power armor, but if you went up to your ammo box and stored it, it would take all of your fusion cores and put them in there. Now prior to this change, they did do another change which allowed you to keep the fusion core that you were using, but it would store the rest of them, so that's why this fix has come in. There's been a couple of fixes with the UI in terms of fixed the rad indicator above the HP bar, sometimes showing the incorrect value. They've also fixed the power armor 3D preview not displaying. The new event, the Big Bloom, they've done a couple of little changes where it's just removed some of the flowers decorating the area to make finding the event related flowers easier, and the event specific loading screens will now appear when fast travelling to the event. Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's all of the changes in this patch notes that's come out for the most recent update for the PDS. So yeah, keep tuned on the channel for any more news coming out for Fallout 76 or the Fallout 76 PDS. If you just want to keep up to date with all that, make sure to subscribe and don't forget to hit that like button on your way out. Thank you all for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.